Vice President Joe Biden is now the president-elect. How do people feel about all of this here in Pennsylvania and in Pittsburgh, about the president fighting on? New this morning, that's what John Shumway is talking about. So we heard from you about 20 minutes ago and what people would like. What do they expect?
Well, I think nobody's really surprised by what they've heard so far is the bottom line answer. With one exception of all the people I talked with, they expressed hope for a peaceful transition. Now, here's the answer to the question, what do you expect President Trump will do?
That he's not going to walk away peacefully. And it's scary, really is scary for what this country is going to go through. I just hope he walks away.
I think that we should follow the law and do what America has voted to do.
I think that he will call for a recount. I think that he will push that lawsuit through, and I mean, he's not a quitting man. He's not going to quit, not at least peacefully.
He probably would not like to, but I'm sure that he will be made to leave.
Gosh, that's a crapshoot, isn't it? I believe he will, whether it's through guidance of his peers or colleagues or on his own maybe, but I think he will.
I think he's going to have to try and hold out until Republicans tell him that he really just needs to end it.
I feel like he's in his own world and he is going to say what he wants, even though it might not swing in his way.
I would like for him to walk away like a man, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I don't think he's going to walk away and be all right with losing.
So the full expectation is the president will take advantage of every possible avenue of appeal, recounts, lawsuits, and some of those who supported him say more power to him. In fact, even those who felt like they got the result out of this election, they want to see that happen. They want to see the recounts. They want to see the lawsuits. Yeah. Let it all be settled so there's no question.
You know, leading up to last week and even while the counting was just beginning, CBS this morning called this the United States of anxiety. Tensions were high. There was a lot of strong emotion on both sides of this thing. So were you finding that was still the case? Well,
you know what I found was across the board, no matter how you felt about it, everybody's just glad to have the vote over.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, John.